they're stuck with the heat without a solution. Good evening. You're watching LA Live News Tonight. I'm Christine Devine.
Thanks very much for joining us. I'm Phil Schuman. In neighborhoods where the temperatures are rising to nearly 100 degrees and more during this heat wave, air conditioning seems pretty basic.
But landlords at one East Hollywood supportive housing building seem to be ignoring residents' pleas for help. Laura Diaz is live with the story you'll only see on Fox. Laura?
Christine and Phil, LA is working to get the homeless off the streets and into shelters. But what if the place you're staying, the AC doesn't work? You complain week after week and nothing is done. Well, that's what I was told by people living in one building.
This is inside the room. These are the vents. It's not working. There's no air coming out of it.
That's 34-year-old Rio giving us a tour of his building and room inside the Volunteers of America, LA, on a sweltering hot July evening.
You have all of this sunlight coming directly inside of the room, and it's super hot.
In his cell video, you see a few fans set up inside the old building, which houses the unhoused on Sunset in East Hollywood. There's a note apologizing for the AC being out. After 2 weeks of asking and not getting the AC fixed, Rio says living here is unbearable.
It's at least 90 degrees inside the room. It's hotter inside of the room because the room is so small. It's only one window. One of the main windows, it doesn't go up, so there's no circulation going inside the building.
We attempted to interview managers on site this Wednesday during a punishing heat wave, but they waved us off. We were denied access to the building, too. On Volunteers of America's webpage, both the city and the county of LA are listed. Fox 11 met Rio with his dog Karen and other tenants of the building on Sunset during this blistering hot summer day.
So I had to go to my psychiatrist and let her write a letter stating that the medicine I'm taking, I can't take that and be inside extreme heat.
It's very bad. We don't have no air, I don't know, it's in English, air condition. We're not very, I sleep naked, you know.
Having a small cold room when it was cold, a small hot room is still better than the street.
Rio told us that he would be moving out of the building tomorrow, but only because he had a doctor's note that said he needed to for his health. As far as reaching out to the building itself, I was told by a gentleman on the phone who sounded like he was in the upper echelon of management that he would get back to me, that he would text me. He was out of town on business, but he never did. I did hear back from Councilman Soto Martinez's office, who represents this council district. He thanked me for letting them know and said he would check into it. I'm Laura Diaz reporting live from East Hollywood, sending it back to the studio.
So, Laura, if I have this right, that note that you showed in your story that notified people about the air conditioning, I thought it said, we're working on it. Any sign of that at all?
Well, not from what we were told. We were not allowed in, as I stated in the piece. I was told by people, including Rio, who was, of course, the most adamant about it, that he had tried and it fell on deaf ears. Other people in the building told me that it had only been the AC out for a couple of days. So I can't be 100% sure on which one was accurate, but it sounded to me like the councilman's office might try to apply some pressure to see if they could speed it along.
So where's Rio going to go? You said he got a doctor's note, but what does that mean?
He will move into another shelter being run by that same group. He said it was 10 minutes away. He had not been told where the location was, but it was 10 minutes away from East Hollywood. So that could be downtown. It could be another portion of Hollywood. I'm not exactly certain, but he was the squeaky wheel, and so he was given recourse.
And what you have there is people that are seeking shelter from the streets and accepting services. All right, Laura, thank you so much. Yeah. How about the weather as we look at the tail end of sunset? Adam Kruger with the numbers on that heat.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's hot. We know that. We have this long duration heat wave coming up with heat alerts in effect through Monday. And another element to this heat wave, and that story is making me think about this, is it's not just that it's hot during the day, but you may have noticed that our humidity is running a little higher than normal SoCal humidity levels. And because of that, it actually stays a little warmer at night as well. And we don't get a chance to cool down as much at night as we otherwise would if the air was a little bit drier. One change we saw today with these heat alerts is they've expanded a little more. So now officially the coast is under a heat advisory, where that wasn't the case just yesterday. And then the National Weather Service here for the Inland Empire has switched it from a heat advisory to an extreme heat warning, as temperatures, as the name suggests, could get a little more extreme in that particular area. Before we get to the highs during the day tomorrow, how about the lows overnight tonight? And again, with that higher humidity, it's not cooling off as much, so we're finding lows that are upper 60s, near 70 degrees. We've seen a couple days in a row where downtown has only bottomed out at about 70 degrees. So overall similar for tonight and similar through the rest of this heat wave. Temperatures tomorrow, they're going to ramp up pretty quickly. And keep in mind, this morning we had some clouds in the basin early. Tomorrow, probably absolutely no cloud cover in the morning. So those temperatures just ramp up a little bit faster. And you can see how hot we're going to be. This is for downtown. We get a little over 90 degrees. We'll call for about 93 in LA. Of course, near the coast, it's not quite that hot, but it's very warm with 80s along the coast. And you can see it will be a hotter day overall tomorrow with those triple digits in the valleys and the Inland Empire, and there is more heat like this to come. We'll talk about that a little bit later. For now, back to you.
More disturbing testimony today in Singer David's preliminary hearing. Authorities say they found more than 10 air fresheners and a strong odor inside his Tesla. That's where the body of a 14-year-old girl was found. Fox 11's Christina Gonzalez reports from the courthouse.
His first image of like 12 or 15 air fresheners that he had thrown in the trunk to try to cover up the decomposing body.
Part of the evidence being presented by prosecutors at the preliminary hearing for Singer David Burke. Images of air fresheners all over the black Tesla, where Celeste Rivas's decomposed remains were found on September of 2025. Burke has pled not guilty to the 14-year-old's murder. Members of the public who won a lottery for seats in the courtroom reacting to the testimony.
It's even disturbing to imagine him driving around trying to use that Tesla with that going on in the front.
I listen to his music regularly. Like Romantic Homicide's one of my favorite songs of all time. So for me, it's like personal on that level.
Seeing the testimony firsthand, the observers are saying,
to me, it's very like point blank, this is what happened. Like, he doesn't have much of a defense.
David's really comfortable in that room. He's so comfortable. Between yesterday and today, he's leaning back on the chair kind of towards the left side, relaxing. He's got his hand like this. I mean, you would not know that this guy is up for murder, because I think like everyone else in the courtroom are far more uncomfortable than he even is.
At this point, the defense attorneys really haven't been able to poke a hole in any of the prosecution's evidence that they put into place. Then a criminologist took the stand and testified that blood stains were found on the lower compartment trunk of David's Tesla, and that they tested positive for Celeste's DNA.
And that is Celeste Rivas's family attorney. Now tomorrow we do expect to hear more from the coroner's office, specifically about her DNA being found in that garage. I'm Christina Gonzalez in downtown Los Angeles, Fox 11 News.
Only on Fox 11 tonight, shocking numbers on LA homelessness, and it's not good news at all.
Exclusive reporting this evening from Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf. He's live in downtown with the story. Matthew.
Yeah, there's been a lot of anticipation on these numbers. This is from the annual Los Homeless count. They haven't been officially released, but we are getting a better idea. Now go ahead and take a look at this video as we read some of these recent results that we're getting from inside sources familiar with Los's latest annual homeless count. They tell me that the number of people living on LA streets has increased by roughly 3.5% compared to last year. Now, the official number will be released on Friday, but the sources tell me this increase comes after 2 years of reported declines. They say the number in LA will be around the same as it was in 2024, when about 45,000 people were living on LA streets, and that's up from about 43,000 last year. Tonight we're out on Pershing Square getting reaction. It's going to be like 3.5%, so compared to last year.
I think it's more than that.
You think it's more?
Right.
What makes you think that?
I see it all the time. I advocate. I see it all the time. I talk to homeless people all the time.
I've seen a lot going on within the streets that has helped people get inside.
I don't listen to numbers. My eyes are better than numbers.
Well, they put me in a shelter. People's concerned, and they feed me 3 times a day. Give me free laundry once a week, a bed.
How close are you to getting back on your feet?
Real close. Yes, with God's help, that's right.
So with that official report expected to be released on Friday, the sources tell me that some districts are going to see an increase in homeless, while others will see a decrease in homeless compared to last year. So we'll have to wait and see exactly what's inside that report. We're live tonight downtown. Matthew Seedorf, Fox 11 News.
So how will this factor into the mayor's race?
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, I think it'll go district by district. And, you know, it's possible that Councilmember Nithya Raman's district could, you know, I think people are going to want to see what goes on there. And then overall LA, obviously, it sounds like it's going to be up 3.5%. So we'll have to see how voters take that.
So you got a little early insight on these numbers. Is there anything else that you were able to get info-wise ahead of Friday's release?
Yeah, they're trying to keep it as tight-lipped as possible, so I'm going to hold true to my word with that. So unfortunately, this is all the information that I am able to release right now.
Got it. All right.
All right, Matthew, thank you.
Good news for WeHo residents and visitors dealing with that massive water main break. DWP officials say Sunset Boulevard in West Hollywood should be back open on Friday. Skyfox overhead this afternoon as workers used heavy drums to flatten the now dried concrete slurry. It was poured in yesterday to backfill the sinkhole. It needs 24 hours to cure, so tomorrow DWP officials say asphalt will be poured. Crews also use chlorine to disinfect the repaired portion of the pipe so it can be returned to service. We'll keep you updated. We'll be right back.
Tonight, a real mystery unfolding at Will Rogers State Beach. So 2 dogs were found roaming around, their owner nowhere to be seen.
Fox 11's Gina Silva talked to the Good Samaritan who found the dogs, has been trying to find the missing woman.
They were wearing these harnesses, and that's how I found them.
2 dogs left behind at Will Rogers State Beach near Temescal Canyon Boulevard on July 9th.
This is the parking lot that I found the dogs in.
And a bag containing a swimsuit, dog food, and other personal belongings inside the women's restroom has Paolo Moreno fearing the worst.
My biggest concern is that something happened to the owner of the dogs. I think it's possible that there was an abduction here at the beach.
Hey, pretty girl.
Moreno says he contacted the LAPD and spoke with a senior lead officer.
He said that the circumstances in which the belongings were left behind and the dogs were left behind was unusual and didn't coincide with someone that abandoned their dogs. But he said that there was no missing person reported at Palisades Beach that day.
At first, Moreno thought the dogs might belong to a homeless woman, so he checked nearby encampments.
Nobody recognized the dogs and nobody had seen the dogs.
He says the dogs are clean, healthy, and wearing matching expensive harnesses. Hoping to identify their owner, he took them to a vet. But the dogs are not microchipped. So when that led nowhere, he looked for security cameras in the area.
I came and looked, and there's no cameras out here at all. And as you can see, I don't see any cameras out here either.
Moreno has been posting these flyers around the area, hoping that someone will recognize the dogs and identify the owner and maybe solve this mystery.
It's scary, you know, God forbid something happened to her. I have 2 adult daughters, and it's really concerning. And hopefully by sharing the dogs and getting visibility, somebody in the greater Los Angeles area recognizes these dogs because they're very recognizable. And we learn that nothing bad happened to the owner.
Gina Silva, Fox 11 News.
Cleanup efforts finally kicked off at the infamous graffiti towers in downtown LA. If you live downtown or you've driven by, you know these abandoned high-rises. They've been plagued by graffiti for years. Fox 11's Rachel Aragon has the story.
Today we're excited again. There's so much hope that this will actually get done.
Downtown LA resident Deborah Shrout was almost in disbelief to see the notorious graffiti towers she's lived next to the last decade get a much needed power wash.
There were so many times we were told there's a buyer, and no, there's not a buyer. It's done, it's not done. And so it was hard to get real hopeful.
The unfinished high-rises have stood idle since 2019 after its Chinese developers ran out of money. But that all changed Wednesday now that the proposed buyer, development firm KPC Group, is set to buy the property.
We agreed that prior to our closing escrow that we would dedicate the money to removing all the graffiti, and we promised that we would do it within 90 days from the judge's decision.
Oceanwide Plaza, known as Graffiti Towers, has long been an eyesore and a source of frustration for residents. Triggering arrests tied to break-ins and daredevil stunts on the towers.
We'll be evaluating all of the electrical systems, the plumbing system.
The KPC Group says once they close escrow, construction can begin transforming these infamous towers into over 500 residential units, a hotel, and plenty of commercial space.
We will improve not only South Park, but the entire downtown in LA.
Now the countdown is on to remove the graffiti within 3 months. The KPC Group says they're picking up the cost of removal, which is likely going to be north of $1 million.
I'm feeling good, but yes, we're going to keep an eye on it. We're going to make sure it doesn't get stalled.
In downtown Los Angeles, Rachel Aragon, Fox 11 News.
Quite the task ahead of them, wouldn't you say?
Better late than never.
There you go. All right, more news when we come back.
Sponsored by My Home Sold.
Well, if you like the dry heat, Southern California is the place to be. Adam Kruger's here with us. Adam?
Well, I think relative to, let's say Texas or something, it's a dry heat. But for us, it's a little bit of a more humid than normal heat we have going on these next few days. And that plays a role in why we see these widespread heat alerts in effect, not just for the next few days, but all the way into Monday of next week. For example, today at one point downtown, it was 86, but felt like 90 when you factor in the humidity. So we're not totally accustomed to that type of maybe not so dry heat. Let's talk about the headlines and kind of an outline of what I'll have coming up here in the next few minutes. So the heat alerts, those expanded, covering a little more ground. I talked about that earlier in the broadcast. They last through Monday, and our hottest temperatures will be these next 3 days, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And again, the humidity is making it feel hotter. Why are we humid? A big part of that reason why is because the ocean temperature is warmer than normal. You see this kind of orange color right here off the coast of Southern California. That's representing that it's 5 to 6 degrees warmer than normal in the ocean. The temperatures are in the low 70s for the water, as opposed to mid to upper 60s, which would be normal for this time of year. And that brings our dew point up and essentially makes it more humid around here. Also, while we're talking about the ocean and the coast, I want to let you know that starting tonight, going through Sunday, we have a beach hazard statement in effect, which means there's going to be bigger waves than normal, 3 to 6 feet maybe for LA County coast north, and then 5 to 7 for Orange County and south. And rip currents would be a concern as well. And why we're seeing these larger than normal waves and rip currents? Well, we've got a hurricane out here in the Pacific, not like it's coming towards us, but we're getting swells from it. That's Hurricane Fausto. Behind it, there's another storm that could keep some swells going around here beyond this upcoming weekend. And also from the southern hemisphere, those winter storms down there this time of year sending some swells our direction as well. Also, by the way, you see Bertha there in the Gulf. That's going to be affecting Louisiana. In fact, it is right now, and it's heading west towards Texas. Should stay as a low-end tropical storm in terms of its intensity, which means the winds don't get much stronger than maybe 40, 45 miles per hour near the center of the storm over the next few days. Of course, it's going to bring other complications. Rain, there's going to be some surge along the coast. You can see the rain stays pretty far south of most of the major cities in Texas, but South Texas will get kind of a swath of rain, maybe a few inches at least by Thursday night, and then kind of wrapping up on Friday. Bringing it back here locally now. So again, it's all about the heat. We've got temperatures that'll top out above where we saw them today. I mentioned the 86 downtown today. We're going to ramp it up to about 93 tomorrow. That's 10 above normal. 93 again on Friday. This weekend will be hot too, but it does start coming down. Temperatures start coming down a couple degrees. As we look at the coast, it's warm here also. We're talking about 80s even at the beaches. We expect highs to top out a little bit over 80 degrees and then about 80 on Saturday. Still pretty warm on Sunday, but coming down a few degrees. We'll be past the peak of this heat wave by then. For the valleys in the Inland Empire, triple digits will be common for the next 3 or 4 days at least, and then we'll be close to it still by Monday of next week. In the mountains, we got warm temperatures there. Looking at highs in the mid to upper 80s through the next several days. And then the hottest temperatures will be in the deserts. This is, of course, where the dry heat is. We've got 105 plus for the high desert, and then the low desert, which would include Palm Springs. We're talking about temperatures up around 115 all the way through this weekend. We're back right after this break.
SoCal. This is LA Live News Tonight on Fox 11 Plus.
Tonight, keeping bike lanes clear just got high tech in Santa Monica.
That's right. The city now using AI-powered cameras to catch violators. Let's go live to Fox 11's Ed Lascos in Santa Monica to explain all this. Ed.
And it really is all about the green lanes, as they call them here in Santa Monica, the bike lanes, keeping them open, keeping them flashing green, if you will, with that high-tech situation, AI-powered cameras. Mikey, get us into the story, will you? We're looking here on Arizona toward the ocean. Cross here is 6, traffic going by. We just missed a couple of bikers because they were in the green lane as it goes down there. Very busy here. You know, the city, they've got these green lanes all over the place, the bike lanes all over the place, and the bikers pedaling their way through the city all over the place. To the video we go, check it. Bikers on the move, and so are those AI-powered cameras. The cameras are found on the city's parking enforcement vehicles that drive around, give normal tickets when your meter's expired. Well, these AI cameras very quickly can catch somebody who illegally parks in those green bike lanes. Mostly it's a lot of the folks we've been hearing from the bikers. It might be those delivery truck drivers or the fast food drivers that pull up very quickly. They might run into an apartment, might only be in that lane for less than a minute sometimes, and then they're still hit with the ticket, the violation, and it's a pricey violation too. $93 a violation, $93 a ticket just to park in those green lanes. If you're caught, makes no difference how long you're there, you're still going to be hit with that violation. But to the bikers, I'll tell you, really does make a difference. Listen.
I think it's an incredibly good idea. I'm sometimes riding along here at night and there's a scooter in the middle of it and there's no light on it, there's no reflector. I could easily plow into that.
And how about like a lot of the delivery truck guys park real quick, the food delivery guys?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who should get the ticket. You know, the driver, maybe not.
Okay. And now you are looking live. Yeah, that is the big situation here. Others talking about it, though, making a good point, saying there is a bit of a backlash, a pushback this by some of those who don't like the bike lane, saying that the parking in this city is difficult enough. If you're familiar with Santa Monica, you got to drive around all over, especially down by 3rd Street in that area, find a place to park, find an open meter. And the critics say that these bike lanes take away the parking, so it's a back and forth. But the bikers, and a lot of them use the bike lanes here, say it's really an important situation, so much so that the city is thinking about adding some more of these AI-powered cameras to a lot of their patrols to really crack down on a lot more of the illegal parking as all of this plays out. But the bikers love it.
So I don't understand what the AI part of it is. I mean, as opposed to having a camera on a parking enforcement vehicle.
Good question. I have no idea. Otherwise, I'm just speculating it probably with AI.
Yeah.
No, I have no idea. The city hasn't told us, but I'm thinking, think about it. If you use common sense, you probably think it can catch you very quickly.
Or maybe it just automates the whole process where it matches like a license plate to an address and automatically sends out a ticket or something.
That's a good thought too, a good theory, Phil. And I was going to say, along with that, the city's quick to say that they have an actual person who's back at City Hall, the traffic division, and they look at a lot of these pictures, a lot of the video that's captured from their patrols, and then that person actually decides, is this an actual violation? And they're the ones who send out the violation, the ticket. But the thing is, the old-fashioned days when you'd park by a meter and it's expired. They still do it here in Santa Monica. You come back, you got the ticket on your windshield. It's not the case here. You may park there and think, wow, it's no big deal. And then maybe when the mail comes, a week or so later, you find that you've hit that violation. So that's the sneaky part of it that's catching a lot of people
Sounds like you might have some
guard.
Personal experience in that area.
Many of us have.
Well, it's, if you live and parked around here in Santa Monica, even to come visit, I think we can say most of us have gotten the ticket sooner or later. It's just a matter of time of coming to Santa Monica,
Yeah.
Well, it looks like a cool, comfortable night out there, like a nice night for a bike ride.
Yeah, it perfectly is, and I'm sorry that you all missed it because we had a convoy, maybe 6 or 7 bikers that were heading down this way, heading down Arizona, yelled at them as they went by. They're heading down, they're looking over to the pier, going to go down the ocean. So you're right, it's a perfect night here. But it's funny, or interesting, I should say. We got here, 4:30 in the afternoon, rather warm. Then the sun was out, but you still had a lot of bikers out because Santa Monica, that's just part of what they do. They love it. They love the safety of it. They love as one biker said, I love the protection of that lane, that green lane.
We saw a guy just behind you there, just right behind you there. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Did he right there? Oh.
A shirtless, machete-wielding man in critical condition after being shot by police outside of Los Alamitos Hospital earlier today. Citizen video capturing some of the chaos that all started with road rage. Fox 11's Susan Hirasuna has the story.
This started around 10 a.m. when Long Beach police got the report of a driver driving erratically. There was a short police pursuit that brought the suspect here to the UCI Los Alamitos Hospital. That's when he interacted with police officers. Video from the Citizen app shows the suspect pacing in front of this building near UCI Los Alamitos Hospital. In his hand, a machete. You can see the officers standing by, reflected in the windows. This all started when Long Beach police got a report of erratic driving by the suspect. An eyewitness described what he saw when the pursuit came to the hospital.
One of the car drove, took a left turn on the Cherry Street. An officer was following him, and one of the fire truck from Long Beach Department cornered him, and then he stopped the car and he ran away with the big sword.
Long Beach police confronted the suspect, but instead of surrender, he opted to run.
He jumped out of the car and was in a foot pursuit with Long Beach officers. And shortly thereafter, Cypress PD and Los Alamitos PD assisted on the call.
Police waited and watched the suspect as he became more and more agitated.
He said, "Go away, go away, go away."
Was he doing waving?
No, he was showing like get away, get away.
Officers called in crisis negotiators, but that apparently escalated the situation. Here's the moment officers fired so-called less than lethal shots. His reaction was to run towards officers to the north, the machete still in his hand. Shots fired and the suspect is down.
Suspect started to run in the direction of the officers with his machete, and that's when the officers made the decision to fire.
The suspect was taken to the hospital in critical condition for surgery. Skyfox overhead shows the remnants from paramedics used to keep the suspect alive. The latest information is that the suspect is still alive in critical but stable condition. The Orange County District Attorney is leading the investigation into the officer-involved shooting. They say it is Los Alamitos and Cypress officers that did the shooting. In Los Alamitos, Susan Hirasuna, Fox 11 News.
The Writers Guild of America filing its own bid to pause the Paramount-Warner Brothers Discovery merger. The Writers Union says if the deal closes, it will eliminate head-to-head competition between two major studios that have competed against each other for talent, projects, and audiences for more than a century. A judge has already paused the merger for now. Remember, California and 11 other states have sued, arguing that it violates antitrust laws. A hearing is set for August 3rd to try to sort this all out. And there's some good news tonight. The Cinerama Dome in Hollywood is finally making a comeback. Yay. Sony and Alamo Drafthouse announcing earlier today they will be reopening the historic theater, but not till 2028. Fox 11's Nick Garcia reports from Hollywood.
A huge piece of Hollywood history is ready for its next act. Sony and Alamo Drafthouse will revive the Cinerama Dome in Hollywood and the adjacent ArcLight Cinemas. It's an iconic venue from the ground and from the sky. Built in 1963, the Cinerama Dome has hosted countless movie premieres and other screenings.
So many notable films that have been screened in that great theater, which has such an interesting projection style that you really don't get anywhere else these days.
Pat Saperstein is the deputy editor of Variety. The Cinerama Dome shut down in 2020 amid the COVID pandemic and has sat vacant, waiting for its comeback ever since. It will now undergo a careful restoration, according to Sony and Alamo Drafthouse.
I'm very happy and excited, along with pretty much everyone else in LA. It seems like we've been waiting for this day for so long to hear that someone is going to rescue this historic building.
She says it's also a sign that movie theaters are here to stay.
It's a really good sign because the box office is having a great year this year. It's an excellent year with The Odyssey and all the other great movies that are out right now.
The Cinerama Dome's legacy continues when it reopens in 2028. In Hollywood, Nick Garcia, Fox 11 News.
Well, that is good news, but it doesn't end there.
The filmmaker whose campaign to save the Cinerama Dome garnered tens of thousands of supporters And he's celebrating the news that the iconic theater will reopen.
I think this is definitely everyone's doing. It's a community effort. There's just so much history about this theater. It would be amazing to just go back inside and watch more movies.
Yeah, been there myself. Ben Steinberg launched the Save the Cinerama Dome petition back in 2021, just minutes after learning the theater was closing. The campaign grew into an international movement, collecting more than 31,000 signatures on change.org. Steinberg says the dome's upcoming reopening is proof that passionate moviegoers can make a difference. He hopes the theater's return sends a message that preserving Los Angeles cinematic history is worth fighting for. We have more good news. SeaWorld San Diego is celebrating the arrival of two adorable new marine animals, and a female bottlenose dolphin calf coming up. We'll show you that. But right now you're looking at a female California sea lion pup.
Jordan Hill, zoological supervisor at Sea Lion and Otter Amphitheater, is joining us tonight via Zoom on LA Live News. Thanks so much for being with us. Tell us about the new additions.
We are just so excited. We have a little bit of a baby boom happening here this summer here at SeaWorld. So first, we got to welcome a California sea lion pup on June 15th. And very soon after, on June 21st, we got to welcome a bottlenose dolphin calf.
So talk about what this means for SeaWorld. I understand it has to do with the research that's really hard to do on marine mammals.
Absolutely. So we've been able to conduct so many different research projects here. We actually have a research facility on site called the Hub SeaWorld Research Institute. And we have a number of scientists where we're able to track and monitor these animals and be able to save them out in the wild as well. And it's really been some incredible work that we've been able to do. And these two new arrivals are just going to continue to grow that wealth of knowledge that we have on these species.
And that's the first time, Mom, we're looking at the sea lion.
That is. So you guys are looking at Phoenix and her pup, who we named Sedona. She is 1 month old now, and they are doing so well. As you see in those videos, Sedona is learning how to swim. Sea lion pups don't actually have the best swimming skills when they are born. So that's something that she's really been honing in on. And they are just doing so fabulous, bonding together. Everything that we wanted to see, they're just reaching every milestone.
And what about the dolphin? Is that more unusual?
I mean, the dolphin they are doing amazing. It's certainly so special when we get to have a dolphin calf that's born. Yeah. She was born to her mother, Sophie. We do know that she's a little girl. She doesn't have a name yet, so you guys are going to have to stay tuned for that announcement. Mm-hmm. And you can see her swimming with her mom, Sophie, and her grandmother, Sandy, who is 47 years old. So we've been able to celebrate 3 generations of dolphins all together. It's been quite amazing.
Wow. So what are you seeing when it comes to the mothering here with these mom and grandma?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's been really special to watch Sandy and Sophie. Grandma definitely helps mom out. And that's exactly what we wanted to see. Dolphins are such social animals, and in their pods, they will help each other out, especially when it comes to swimming with that baby calf. The calf also, that dolphin is learning how to swim. They are pretty skilled swimmers when they are born, but they need to learn how to turn quickly, how to stop, and having her grandma in there only helps her learn all those skills even quicker.
We want to show some cute pictures of the sea lion pup, but for people that don't know, like SeaWorld's in San Diego.
Yes.
As popular as ever?
Of course. We have so much happening this summer.
Yeah,
you guys really
it.
need to check us out before the summer ends. We have plenty of summer concerts that are going to be happening. Our last one is on August 29th. We also have a variety of different shows and presentations that are special just for the summer. So you guys all need to get out here right before we wrap that up.
And the babies, are they available to see for the public right now or not yet?
They absolutely are. So we're so excited to share them with everybody. Sedona, the sea lion pup, has been becoming braver and braver on exhibit, and it's been really exciting to watch our guests get to experience all of that with her. And you can also go visit Sophie's calf at Dolphin Amphitheater as well.
I love her energy and her joy.
Yes,
She's
it must
so
be a fun
excited.
place to work if you love animals
It's
and sea
the
life.
best job in the entire world. And I mean, look, I get to be on here telling you all about these adorable little babies. We're just booming with joy over here. You guys got to come share in it and come join us here at SeaWorld San Diego.
All right, Jordan, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
Thank you so much.
Illusions, giants come to life and reality gets flipped at Wonder Walk in Hollywood.
Fox 11's Coco McAvoy takes us inside the immersive experience.
Hey there, we're at Wonder Walk Hollywood. They've transported us to downtown LA here. I'm afraid of heights, but they say just don't look down, right? Okay, I'm gonna try to get across here, and I made it. The thing that's so cool about Wonder Walk Hollywood, they have 3 different attractions under one roof, including the Museum of Illusions. This is incredible. I want to introduce you now to Jameer Walker, who is the general manager. What a cool setting this is. I'm sure this is a really popular spot.
Yes, it is. It's actually one of the first ones that people get to as soon as they come around that corner. So, I mean, it's the scary moment of the day, I guess. A lot of people, they'll sit here with the whole family and look back at, well, not King Kong, and act like they're being scared. Or something similar to like with the elephant, when you sit down on the trunk, it looks like you're sliding down.
So don't flip out. Obviously, this is a really cool kitchen inside the Upside Down house. This is all part of Wonder Walk. I think this is so cool, seeing everything upside down, and there's even stuff inside of the drawers as well for you to check out and enjoy. Like every drawer opens. So you can see you've got your pots and pans, everything you need to start cooking in this kitchen. We've moved into the Giant's house.
The Giant house, we just kind of wanted to expand everything. Our idea was kind of like, what if you're a toy and you're just walking around, you know, your owner's home, kind of like Toy Story. But immersive art again, you sit inside the objects, you stand beside them, We have like a Coke can over there. There's stairs. We can actually walk inside the Coke can, or the toilet. Like you can actually walk inside the toilet. But you know, bringing out the kid in you, kind of really making you small, tiny. So when you look at your photos, not only do you have the illusion of being immersed in the different art, you have the illusion of being upside down. Now you have the illusion of being really tiny in everyday objects.
Thank you so much, Jameer, for talking to us. Come and experience this. This is Wonder Walk Hollywood, right off of Hollywood Boulevard. For more information, head to illusionsla.com. I'll send it back to you.
I have been there for Metropolitan Fashion Week. We did a whole fashion show at that location.
I never was aware of that.
Me neither.
It's really cool.
Coco,
the photos.
Coco brings such joy to those assignments.
Yeah.
I love watching her
It's a
do those.
fun place.
Yeah, it looked like it.
Well, and then you get the most amazing pictures out of
Yes.
it too, which is for some people like the most important part of going somewhere is the pictures you can post afterwards.
The Instagram, right?
Yeah, yeah. I saw a video online lately of someone saying like it was posing a question, like if you were given a chance to go on a free vacation somewhere, but you weren't allowed to bring your phone or take any pictures of it, would you go? And like people like,
said no?
Yeah, some people were like no.
What's the point?
Yeah, right. What's the point? I can't post about it.
Oh, my
anyway,
goodness.
that looks really cool, and I'm sure you could take your pictures
Yeah.
there and
Yes,
post
you
them as
can.
well. Okay, let's talk about, that's a good place to get out of the heat. We got the hot weather the next couple of days. It was pretty warm today. Now, keep in mind, nothing extreme, I would say, for a lot of us just yet. It was 86 downtown, 83 is average. So you're saying, okay, what's the big deal? It's only a few degrees warmer than normal. Well, we had enough humidity to where that 86 felt like 90 at one point today, and many areas felt at least a little bit hotter than the actual temperature. So that's another element to this heat wave. So it's not all about just what the thermometer says. It also can feel hotter than that to your body. We've got a heat advisory in place for a lot of the area, including the coast. That was a change the National Weather Service made recently. And also an extreme heat warning, as temperatures will be, as the name suggests, even hotter or more extreme in the IE and certainly in the deserts. It's going to be crazy, like 115 out towards Palm Springs. As we back the map out way farther, you see why we're hot. We've got this broad area of high pressure. High pressure tends to bring warm temperatures, so we're feeling that right now, and it's actually going to shift a little more towards us in the next few days, which brings our temperatures up even more. We've got this low, by the way, right here. A couple things we can point out on the map. This one was, going back a couple of days, a tropical storm. Elita was the name. It's no longer a tropical system, but it helped feed in a little tropical moisture into our area. We've also got monsoonal moisture on the back end of this high. We've got a warmer than normal ocean temperatures just off the coast here in Southern California, and all that is making for higher than normal humidity. And again, it's just downright hot as well. This high is going to shift and hold overhead here through the next several days. This takes us all the way through Sunday. You see that darker orange color. That's the heat. And so heat alerts in effect through Monday of next week. Another change tomorrow compared to today is today for some areas, clouds were kind of stubborn and lingered through the morning to about midday. We expect hardly any cloud cover at all tomorrow morning, even along the coast. So the temps kind of ramp up sooner. And you see how those temperatures head over 90 degrees for LA. Here's the map, really tells the story. You can see all the triple digits in the deserts and the valleys and the Inland Empire, and a lot of 90s for a good portion of Los Angeles and Inland Orange County, and then 80s for highs along the coast. Switching it to Friday, it's almost identical. And on Saturday, it's pretty much the same story. So again, hot couple of days here to say the least. I think the hottest will be Thursday through Saturday. We come down a little bit Sunday and a little bit Monday, but still hot enough to make those heat alerts valid. So our 7-day for LA, again, hot temperatures, 93 for a couple of days, 92, 90 on Sunday. And notice the overnight lows. Those will continue to be in the upper 60s to around 70 degrees, which is also warmer than normal for the nights for this time of year. At the coast, a couple of days, just over 80 degrees, 70s by Sunday and beyond. And finally, the valleys, the IE, you've got those triple digits right on into the weekend. We're right back after this break.
waiting to hear more about Jackie, the bald eagle from Big Bear Valley, as she's recuperating at the Ojai Raptor Center.
Apparently she was found over the weekend. She got into some type of eagle altercation, was taken to that specialized rehab center in Ojai. According to the center, Jackie is officially in critical condition. She was found on the ground, apparently unable to fly last week. She was rescued on Saturday, and they tell us they're awaiting blood and toxicology tests to come back.
So let's take a look at a couple items. The first one on top here is a whole pamphlet on the city of Long Beach, and specifically our org chart as well as what we looked like back in 1976.
The city of Long Beach, in partnership with the Historical Society of Long Beach, opening a time capsule that was buried 50 years ago during the United States bicentennial celebration. They found many items in the capsule, including an ashtray, a frisbee, and a menu from Jones Dining Room.
If you liked roast of prime rib of beef, you could have roast of prime rib of beef for $5.65. Or if you're into seafood, you could have the northern halibut steak for $4.75.
Really? The mayor of Long Beach says, quote, a time capsule is more than a collection of artifacts. It's a promise between generations. How about those prices? Again,
I love that. Yeah, I wonder what else.
$5.
I wonder what else was in there. You know, if you go to the Biltmore in downtown LA, they have menus from the 1930s, and the prices are even more shocking.
Well, that's a historic hotel, right, with a lot of history, California.
Well, good for Long Beach for doing that.
Don't go anywhere. We're not done yet.
LA Live News Tonight continues in the 9 o'clock hour. I will join you and hopefully see you there right after the break.
across SoCal. This is LA Live News Tonight on Fox 11 Plus.
Now at 9, stuck in the stifling heat, some residents of a supportive housing complex say management still hasn't fixed their broken AC.
I'm meteorologist Adam Kruger, and you know when the map looks like this, we are talking about hot temperatures. Heat alerts last through Monday. We'll show you where we expect some triple digits coming up.
Chilling testimony continues. Detectives detail disturbing evidence found inside singer David's Tesla. Those are the allegations as his preliminary hearing continues. Plus, AI-powered bike lanes, Santa Monica using high-tech cameras to catch and ticket drivers parking illegally. Good evening, everyone. You're watching LA Live News Tonight. I'm Phil Shooter. Residents of a supportive housing building are enduring this brutal heat wave without air conditioning. Despite weeks of complaints, they say no action has been taken, leaving them to face these 100-degree temperatures during what could be the hottest week of the year. We have TV coverage on all of this, the latest heat wave. Chief Meteorologist Adam Kruger standing by as always. But first, we begin with Fox 11's Laura Diaz. She's live in Hollywood with a story you'll see only on Fox. Laura?
Phil, yes, of course, LA has been working to get homeless people off of the streets. But as you just mentioned, people who are living in this supportive unit say that their AC has been out for weeks now, that they've complained and complained, and nobody will help them. This is their story. They say it's simply miserable.
This is inside the room. These are the vents. It's not working. There's no air coming out of it.
That's 34-year-old Rio giving us a tour of his building and room inside the Volunteers of America, LA, on a sweltering hot July evening.
You have all of this sunlight coming directly inside of the room, and it's super hot.
In his cell video, you see a few fans set up inside the old building, which houses the unhoused on Sunset in East Hollywood. There's a note apologizing for the AC being out. After 2 weeks of asking and not getting the AC fixed, Rio says living here is unbearable.
It's at least 90 degrees inside the room. It's hotter inside of the room because the room is so small. It's only one window. One of the main windows, it doesn't go up, so there's no circulation going inside the building.
We attempted to interview managers on site this Wednesday during a punishing heat wave, but they waved us off. We were denied access to the building, too. On Volunteers of America's webpage, both the city and the county of LA are listed. Fox 11 met Rio with his dog Karen and other tenants of the building on Sunset during this blistering hot summer day.
So I had to go to my psychiatrist and let her write a letter stating that the medicine I'm taking, I can't take that and be inside extreme heat.
It's very bad. We don't have no air, I don't know, it's in English, air condition. We don't have, I sleep naked, you know.
Having a small cold room when it was cold, a small hot room is still better than the street.
So far, the building has not responded to my calls to get comment from them. I did actually, however, hear from the councilman who represents this district. They thanked me for telling them about the story and said that they would be looking into it. And Rio says that he will be moving out of that facility tomorrow because he has a doctor's note, Phil. They've found another place for him to stay. It's about 10 minutes away from this East Hollywood location. I'm Laura Diaz reporting live, sending it back to the studio.
Laura, it was interesting that one man's comment, I'm sure it struck you too, a hot room is better than no room.
It did strike me. That's why I continued to tell his story as well. He says he's quite uncomfortable. He'll be very grateful when they finally get the AC working again, but it's better than living on the streets. Yeah. All of them had stories of living on the streets and how difficult that was. And so even a hot room is better than living on the streets. But that AC repair can't come soon enough. Phil?
All right, Laura Diaz in Hollywood, thanks so much. Nighttime over Southern California. In the 8 o'clock hour, we talk with Chief Meteorologist Adam Kruger, not just about the heat, but also higher humidity.
Yeah, something that we don't always see here in Southern California, the humidity running a little higher than it normally does. And that has a couple of impacts. One is just during the day, when we're at our hottest part of the day, it's going to feel a couple degrees hotter than what the temperatures actually are. But then also at night with the higher humidity, temps don't get a chance to cool down as much as they otherwise would. And keep that in mind. We've been seeing that lately. For example, the lows have been around 70 degrees, at least downtown where our official thermometer is for the city. And it should be about that kind of territory again for the next few nights. Here's what we see right now. And by the way, notice how Palm Springs currently is at 100 degrees. Otherwise, as we come in a little closer to around the greater LA area, there's a mix of 70s and 80s with some of those warmer temperatures across the valleys and the Inland Empire. But again, it's going to be a warm by our standards kind of night for us here. So we're going to cool down to most areas between like 68 and 71 degrees, pretty common numbers here on the map. And then for tomorrow, it's going to be hotter than it was today. And another thing about tomorrow is there will be little to no cloud cover in the morning at all. So the temps kind of get a chance to ramp up a little quicker in the morning hours. Notice by 10 a.m. about 84 and heading over 90 degrees in the afternoon. That's for like the middle of LA. We'll call for about 93 downtown. You can see all the other numbers on the map, though. The desert's obviously going to be hot with triple digits there. Notice Santa Clarita and the valleys, San Fernando Valley in the 100s. San Gabriel Valley maybe slightly under 100 degrees and some 100s across the Inland Empire. And even at the coast, we've got a heat advisory there now as well, as those temperatures will get over 80 in the afternoon. And it's not like this is just a one and done thing. I mean, we've got more days coming up where these numbers will be very similar and the heat alerts continue through Monday. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. Phil?
All right, Adam, thank you. More disturbing testimony today in Singer David's preliminary hearing. Authorities say they found multiple air fresheners along with a strong odor inside his Tesla. That's where they say they found the dismembered body of that 14-year-old girl. Fox 11's Christina Gonzalez was at the courthouse.
His first image of like 12 or 15 air fresheners that he had thrown in the trunk to try to cover up the decomposing body.
Part of the evidence being presented by prosecutors at the preliminary hearing for Singer David Burke. Images of air fresheners all over the black Tesla, where Celeste Rivas' decomposed remains were found on September of 2025. Burke has pled not guilty to the 14-year-old's murder. Members of the public who won a lottery for seats in the courtroom reacting to the testimony.
It's even disturbing to imagine him driving around trying to use that Tesla with that going on in the front.
I listen to his music regularly. Like Romantic Homicide's one of my favorite songs of all time. So for me, it's like personal on that level.
Seeing the testimony firsthand, the observers are saying,
to me, it's very like point blank, this is what happened. Like, he doesn't have much of a defense.
David's really comfortable in that room. He's so comfortable. Between yesterday and today, he's leaning back on the chair kind of towards the left side, relaxing. He's got his hand like this. I mean, you would not know that this guy is up for murder, because I think like everyone else in the courtroom are far more uncomfortable than he even is.
At this point, the defense attorneys really haven't been able to poke a hole in any of the prosecution's evidence that they put into place. Then a criminologist took the stand and testified that blood stains were found on the lower compartment trunk of David's Tesla, and that they tested positive for Celeste's DNA.
And that is Celeste Rivas' family attorney. Now tomorrow we do expect to hear more from the coroner's office, specifically about her DNA being found in that garage. I'm Christina Gonzalez in downtown Los Angeles, Fox 11 News.
Well, only on Fox 11 tonight, numbers on LA homelessness heading in the wrong direction. Definitely not good news at all. Exclusive reporting this evening from Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf live in downtown LA with the homeless count numbers. Matthew?
Yeah, Phil, there's been a lot of anticipation for these numbers, especially in recent weeks. And now we're getting closer to an understanding of what they could look like officially. If you go ahead and take a look at this video, we're getting reports tonight from multiple inside sources familiar with WASA's latest annual homeless count. The number of homeless people living on LA streets has increased by roughly 3.5% compared to last year. Now, the official number will be released Friday, but the sources tell me this increase comes after 2 years of reported declines. They say the number in LA will be around the same as it was in 2024, when about 45,000 people were living on LA streets. That's up from about 43,000 last year. Tonight we're on Pershing Square getting reaction. It's going to be like 3.5%, so compared to last year.
I think it's more than that.
You think it's more?
Right.
What makes you think that?
I see it all the time. I mean, I advocate. I see it all the time. I talk to homeless people all the time.
I've seen it a lot going on within the streets that has helped people get inside.
I don't listen to numbers. My eyes are better than numbers.
Well, they put me in a shelter. People's concerned, and they feed me 3 times a day. Give me free laundry once a week. Bed.
How close are you to getting back on your feet?
Real close. Yes, with God's help. That's right.
Now, again, that official report should be released on Friday. According to those sources, it's going to be in districts. So some districts actually saw a decline in homeless, and others did see that increase. We're live tonight downtown. Matthew Seedorf, Fox 11 News.
Well, Matthew, remember you did this story last week. I mean, every other jurisdiction has released their numbers long ago. I mean, this count was done in January, wasn't it?
Yeah, and some other counties in California, even San Francisco, for example, they've released their numbers in May, even though their count also took place around the same time in January.
All right, well, if the numbers go up, it's certainly not going to be good news for Mayor Bass and her campaign to win re-election. But, you know, like you said in the 8 o'clock hour, we'll just have to wait and see what they show. All right, thanks for that reporting. Stay on that one. Live helicopter shot. We head over the city, Los Angeles. 9/11 on this Wednesday night. Hot, muggy. We'll be right back. Cleanup efforts finally underway at the infamous graffiti towers in downtown LA. A If you live there, you've driven by there, we all know the story. The abandoned high-rises have been plagued by vandalism and graffiti for years. Fox 11's Rachel Aragon has the plan.
Today, we're excited again. There's so much hope that this will actually get done.
Downtown LA resident Deborah Shrout was almost in disbelief to see the notorious graffiti towers she's lived next to the last decade get a much needed power wash.
There were so many times we were told there's a buyer, and no, there's not a buyer. It's done, it's not done. And so it was hard to get real hopeful.
The unfinished high-rises have stood idle since 2019 after its Chinese developers ran out of money. But that all changed Wednesday now that the proposed buyer, development firm KPC Group, is set to buy the property.
We agreed that prior to our closing escrow, that we would dedicate the money to removing all the graffiti, and we promised that we would do it within 90 days from the judge's decision.
Oceanwide Plaza, known as Graffiti Towers, has long been an eyesore and a source of frustration for residents, triggering arrests tied to break-ins and daredevil studs on the towers.
We'll be evaluating all of the electrical systems, the plumbing system.
The KPC Group says once they close escrow, construction can begin transforming these infamous towers into over 500 residential units, a hotel, and plenty of commercial space.
We will improve not only South Park, but the entire downtown in LA.
Now the countdown is on to remove the graffiti within 3 months. The KPC Group says they're picking up the cost of removal, which is likely going to be north of $1 million.
I'm feeling good, but yes, we're going to keep an eye on it. We're going to make sure it doesn't get stalled.
In downtown Los Angeles, Rachel Aragon, Fox 11 News.
Weather is sponsored by American Career College.
All right, there's that beautiful nighttime shot looking out over the San Fernando Valley, all those lights. I think I see my house on the bottom left there. Adam Kruger, what are we looking at over the next few days, my friend?
Is that the one with the Christmas lights still up? I
Yeah.
see it right there, Phil. You got to take those down. So we're looking at obviously more heat. We've been talking a lot about that. The humidity is a little bit higher than normal SoCal humidity, so that's making it feel a little hotter than our actual temperatures. Here's proof of that. So as I show you what we had with our temps today, it's the second graphic. I'll show you in a second. The headlines first, what we're talking about in the next few minutes. So we have heat alerts. Those have expanded, covering a little more ground, and they're going to last through Monday. So we've seen a little change in those heat alerts today. The hottest days, though, will be tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. And again, the humidity making it feel hotter. Here's what I was alluding to earlier. So, for example, today, downtown, which we use as LA's official thermometer, there's a climate station downtown. It got to 86. However, it felt like 90 degrees. That's, if you hear the term heat index, that's what it was today. So it felt 4 degrees hotter than the actual temperature. And the reason why our humidity is up more than normal is because the ocean temperatures are warmer than normal. You see these orangish colors right here, and then here's the scale. I know a lot of these colors look kind of similar, but basically we've got ocean temperatures here about 5 to 6 degrees above normal for this time of year. The water temps are in the low 70s as opposed to mid and upper 60s, which adds more moisture to our atmosphere, and we're certainly feeling that. Speaking of the ocean, we got a couple of things we're watching here in the tropics. Not that anything's coming right for us, but notice Hurricane Fausto here. It's going straight west. However, it's sending swells our way, which is prompting higher than normal waves and rip currents. There's a beach hazard statement in effect for the coast starting tonight, lasting through Sunday. There's also a storm in the southern hemisphere that's sending swells our way. And then behind Fausto is likely another storm forming here that will probably keep those higher waves and rip currents going even beyond this weekend. Also want to point this out. We've got a tropical storm affecting the U.S. right now. It's Bertha, with winds maxed out at about 45 right now. It's passing just a bit west of New Orleans. The rain blob from this is actually off center of where the circulation is. So the center of the storm will go here. Some of the strongest winds will be maybe near Houston and Galveston. And then you see the rain heading farther south of Houston, farther south of San Antonio, going through South Texas Thursday night into Friday morning. And then it's no longer a tropical system. But there could be 1 to 4 inches of rain across some parts of Texas as that goes by. Back here locally now, it's pretty much all about the heat, and tomorrow will definitely be hotter than today. We're calling for 93 in LA. Same thing Friday, 92 Saturday, 90 on Sunday, and then some 80s return next week. Even at the coast, we're going to find temperatures over 80 degrees for a couple of days before the 70s come back by Sunday. And in the valleys in the Inland Empire, it is hot here for sure, with triple digits for the next 4 days, down to about 99 on Monday. Mountains, mid to upper 80s will be common. And then, of course, whenever we have a heat wave, the deserts are hot. So high desert, it's 105 plus for a while. And in the low desert, which would be the Coachella Valley, Palm Springs area, around 114 to 115 all the way through early next week. We're back right after this break.
Paramount's controversial takeover of Warner Brothers Discovery just got European Union approval. The EU clearing the deal today after Paramount agreed to some concessions there, like exiting a joint venture with Universal Europe. This was one of the final hurdles for the merger. Paramount planned to finalize the deal right after EU approval, but a U.S. lawsuit by 12 state attorneys general has delayed that process until at least next month. Meantime, the Writers Guild of America is filing its own bid to stop the merger. The union says if the deal closes, it'll eliminate all the head-to-head competition that they've had for decades for talent, projects, and audiences. A hearing is set for August 3rd to decide all this. And big developing news tonight in Hollywood, the Cinerama Dome is finally making a comeback. Sony and the movie chain it owns, Alamo Drafthouse, announcing they will be reopening the Cinerama Dome, but not till 2028. Fox 11's Nick Garcia reports from Hollywood.
A huge piece of Hollywood history is ready for its next act. Sony and Alamo Drafthouse will revive the Cinerama Dome in Hollywood and the adjacent ArcLight Cinemas. It's an iconic venue from the ground and from the sky. Built in 1963, the Cinerama Dome has hosted countless movie premieres and other screenings.
So many notable films that have been screened in that great theater, which has such an interesting projection style that you really don't get anywhere else these days.
Pat Saperstein is the deputy editor of Variety. The Cinerama Dome shut down in 2020 amid the COVID pandemic and has sat vacant, waiting for its comeback ever since. It will now undergo a careful restoration, according to Sony and Alamo Drafthouse.
I'm very happy and excited, along with pretty much everyone else in LA. It seems like we've been waiting for this day for so long to hear that someone is going to rescue this historic building.
She says it's also a sign that movie theaters are here to stay.
It's a really good sign because the box office is having a great year this year. It's an excellent year with The Odyssey and all the other great movies that are out right now.
The Cinerama Dome's legacy continues when it reopens in 2028. In Hollywood, Nick Garcia, Fox 11 News.
And as we take a live look at the Santa Monica Pier coming up at the 9:30 hour, we will be right back.
This is LA Live News Tonight on Fox 11 Plus.
New tonight, keeping those bike lanes clear. Just got a bit more high tech in Santa Monica. The city now using cameras to catch violators, AI powered cameras. Let's go live to Fox 11's Ed Lascos in Santa Monica with more. Ed?
And Phil, you're right. It's all about keeping the green lanes open. The green lanes, as they call them here in Santa Monica, the bike lanes, keeping away anybody who might park illegally. And that's when they use that AI technology. They hit them with some big-time violations, big-time tickets. Mikey, take us into the story. This is Arizona. We're looking toward the ocean. Cross here is 6th. No bike traffic, but you can see that green lane as it stretches on through. Imagine you're on your bike pedaling your way along. Watch. Now you are behind the handlebars, steering your bike through the green lane, one of Santa Monica's many bike lanes, and you are not alone. Look everywhere. There's other bikers here on Broadway, here along Ocean, pedaling their way through the city, with Santa Monica now doubling down on their green lanes, making sure they stay open by ticketing illegal parking.
I think it's an incredibly good idea. I'm sometimes riding along here at night and there's a scooter in the middle of it, and there's no light on it, there's no reflector, I could easily plow into that.
Or plow into something else that's blocking the bike lane, like here on 6th Street. This delivery truck, see it there? It's parked right in the green. The city now using AI-equipped cameras on its parking enforcement vehicles, automatically detecting and then issuing tickets to those who block those green bike lanes. And I'll tell you, it's a pricey violation. $93 a pop, $93. You would think most of those tickets going to the delivery trucks who make those quick stops.
I don't know who should get the ticket. You know, the driver, maybe not.
Okay.
Amazon, maybe so.
Bikers like the crackdown, but others wonder if these green lanes come at too high a price, especially here in this city, a city known for its parking nightmare.
People have nowhere to park now, you know, and some people feel that the people on the bikes have taken over, you know, where they were parking at. So, you know, there's a little animosity here and there. And at the end of the day, it's a good thing because I'm a biker myself, so I use these, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. All right, pal. Now you are looking live. That's it. Some of the folks you talk to aren't crazy about these bike lanes, saying it really takes away from the parking. Some of these side streets are a little tight, and you go down if you have a lot of traffic, like even here on Arizona coming down, it's a little difficult. But when you talk to all the bikers, and I mean all the bikers, Phil, they love the idea just from a safety standpoint. You know, real quick before I let you go, we were talking last hour about the AI-generated cameras. So they actually have a person who is at police headquarters over there at the traffic division, and they every day or every night at the end of the shift look at all the pictures taken by the parking patrol vehicles, and they decide which of the violations to send out. And it's a type thing where you may pull off and park there and think you got away with it for 30 seconds, 40 seconds, and then the ticket arrives in the mail about a week later and you realize you're hit with this fine for $93.
Ed Lascos, Santa Monica. Thank you, Sarah. More AI news. San Francisco-based OpenAI says its models were behind, quote, an unprecedented cyber incident. OpenAI, that's the company, is investigating what it calls, quote, an unprecedented cyber incident. Two of its most capable AI models apparently acted on their own and hacked into another company. The company admits its models escaped a closed testing environment. We're able to hack into another AI company. This gets a little technical. OpenAI says the models used stolen credentials to get in, found a way to access the internet and servers of a company called Hugging Face, apparently all without any human direction. Cybersecurity experts say the inclusion is alarming.
The real question that we need to be asking ourselves is why was this sandbox not adequately secured? And are the engineers at OpenAI good stewards of this technology?
Both companies are investigating the breach. Hugging Face officials say they strongly believe there was no malicious intent. So study up on AI. Happening tomorrow, President Trump is expected to expand an AI electricity cost pledge. We're told he'll announce at the Environmental Protection Agency that governors, utilities, and data center developers are joining what's called the Ratepayer Protection Pledge. Unveiled earlier this year, it aims to protect Americans from rising electricity costs driven by all this artificial intelligence growth. You know, they take these massive data centers. The White House says the expanded pledge now covers 80% of U.S. electricity use, with nearly 200 companies and organizations signing on. And the White House Correspondents' Dinner is now back on. It's actually set for this Friday at the Waldorf Astoria in D.C. The event, you remember, was postponed after that really frightening incident 3 months ago when a man armed with guns and knives opened fire. This was at the Washington Hilton. Authorities believe he planned to target President Trump. The Secret Service says, hey, security will be tighter this time. Developing tonight, a shirtless, machete-wielding man is still in critical condition after he was shot by police in Los Alamitos earlier today. Fox 11's Susan Harasuna has the story.
This started around 10 a.m. when Long Beach police got the report of a driver driving erratically. There was a short police pursuit that brought the suspect here to the UCI Los Alamitos Hospital. That's when he interacted with police officers. Video from the Citizen app shows the suspect pacing in front of this building near UCI Los Alamitos Hospital. In his hand, a machete. You can see the officers standing by, reflected in the windows. This all started when Long Beach police got a report of erratic driving by the suspect. An eyewitness described what he saw when the pursuit came to the hospital.
One of the car drove, took a left turn on the Cherry Street. An officer was following him, and one of the fire truck from Long Beach Department cornered him, and then he stopped the car and he ran away with the big sword.
Long Beach police confronted the suspect, but instead of surrender, he opted to run.
He jumped out of the car and was in a foot pursuit with Long Beach officers. And shortly thereafter, Cypress PD and Los Alamitos PD assisted on the call.
Police waited and watched the suspect as he became more and more agitated.
He said, "Go away, go away, go away."
Was he waving the flag?
No, he was showing like get away, get away.
Officers called in crisis negotiators, but that apparently escalated the situation. Here's the moment officers fired so-called less than lethal shots. His reaction was to run towards officers to the north, the machete still in his hand. Shots fired and the suspect is down.
Suspect started to run in the direction of the officers with his machete, and that's when the officers made the decision to fire.
The suspect was taken to the hospital in critical condition for surgery. Skyfox overhead shows the remnants from paramedics used to keep the suspect alive. The latest information is that the suspect is still alive in critical but stable condition. The Orange County District Attorney is leading the investigation into the officer-involved shooting. They say it is Los Alamitos and Cypress officers that did the shooting. In Los Alamitos, Susan Hirosuna, Fox 11 News.
FBI Director Kash Patel says crime scene footage related to Nancy Guthrie's suspected abduction may have actually been lost, apparently due to the FBI's delayed involvement in that Arizona case. Local authorities requested the FBI's help 4 days after Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy, was reported missing. She, of course, the Today Show host. Agents worked with Google to recover cached Nest doorbell footage. That's like in the file system. The footage they recovered was apparently about to be deleted, so they're now wondering if there was more footage related to her case that was, in fact, deleted by the system in the days before the FBI was involved. Tonight, a puzzling situation unfolding at Will Rogers State Beach. 2 dogs found wandering alone, their owner nowhere to be seen. Fox 11 Gina Silva spoke with the man who found the dogs earlier this month and is trying to locate the missing woman.
They were wearing these harnesses, and that's how I found them.
2 dogs left behind at Will Rogers State Beach near Temescal Canyon Boulevard on July 9th.
This is the parking lot that I found the dogs in.
And a bag containing a swimsuit, dog food, and other personal belongings inside the women's restroom has Paolo Moreno fearing the worst.
My biggest concern is that something happened to the owner of the dogs. I think it's possible that there was an abduction here at the beach.
Hey, pretty girl.
Moreno says he contacted the LAPD and spoke with a senior lead officer.
He said that the circumstances in which the belongings were left behind and the dogs were left behind was unusual and didn't coincide with someone that abandoned their dogs. But he said that there was no missing person reported at Palisades Beach that day.
At first, Moreno thought the dogs might belong to a homeless woman, so he checked nearby encampments.
Nobody recognized the dogs and nobody had seen the dogs.
He says the dogs are clean, healthy, and wearing matching expensive harnesses. Hoping to identify their owner, he took them to a vet, but the dogs are not microchipped. So when that led nowhere, he looked for security cameras in the area.
I came and looked, and there's no cameras out here at all. And as you can see, I don't see any cameras out here either.
Moreno has been posting these flyers around the area, hoping that someone will recognize the dogs and identify the owner and maybe solve this mystery.
It's scary, you know, God forbid something happened to her. I have 2 adult daughters, and it's really concerning. And hopefully by sharing the dogs and getting visibility, somebody in the greater Los Angeles area recognizes these dogs because they're very recognizable. And we learn that nothing bad happened to the owner.
Gina Silva, Fox 11 News.
Before we head to break, I know what you're saying. I wonder what it looks like in Amsterdam. It's 6:39 in the morning. Take a look. Award-winning and most unusual show is now running at the historic and beautiful Pasadena Playhouse. It's called Mexodus. It's a story about slaves who escaped captivity by going to Mexico. It also incorporates live hip-hop music. The two stars and writers talked to us just before they hit the stage tonight. Brian Quijada and Nigel Robinson, thanks very much for joining us on the Fox 11 News at 6. The show is written and performed by you two. It's getting rave reviews. I just read electrifying and utterly outstanding. That was in New York. How's it playing in Southern California?
Electrifying. We're having the time of our lives. Yeah, it's cool.
It's an unusual story, right? Tell us about the story.
Yeah, 30 years before the United States abolished slavery, Mexico did. And in those 30 years, there was 4,000 to 10,000 slaves that went south to Mexico. I mean, it makes sense, right? If you're in Texas, why would you go north? You just cross the Rio Grande and get citizenship in Mexico.
We're talking about the Underground Railroad, or?
That's right.
Yeah. So so this is based on real events, right? And what inspired you two to write about this?
I mean, I have immigrant parents, and so, you know, when I first read this on history.com, I thought about my parents, and it's kind of like a reverse border story in the way that we see it.
Well, then we met, and Brian pitched me the idea, and I was like, that sounds crazy, but you know, it makes perfect sense. That where are you going to go in Texas? So then we got like a magical phone call from New York Station Film, our homie Liz Carlson, and she was like, do you want to do anything? And we started working on this and like made a concept album over a year.
Yeah, we made it during the pandemic, so we're 6 years deep.
So it's a hip hop musical about a very serious subject, which obviously brings to mind Hamilton. Is that a valid comparison? I imagine you would welcome that. It's like Hamilton's only like the biggest hit in the
that Pulitzer Prize winning play.
Yes. And we have like a nice good cop, bad cop routine about it. And I'm not bad cop, but like I'm like the not so good cop. But we all do have the same influences. Hip hop was created obviously in the Bronx, and we all gather from those sources, so things start to kind of sound similar-ish because it's the same source material. But Hamilton is a story about white founders of this country played by people of color, and this is a story about black and brown people played by black and brown people. Not to take away from the validity of Hamilton.
No, I get you.
It's different.
Yeah, no, we're both fans, obviously, and it's I think in a very true way, Hamilton kicked down the door for us to be able to do hip hop theater, and so I think we are indebted to that.
Yeah, and Lynn came.
Yeah, and he loved it.
He loved it, and we love him.
We love him.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Well, I hope it's a huge success for you guys, continuing what has been in the past. Brian and Nigel, thanks very much for joining us. Mexodus, we'll remind our viewers, Mexodus, kind of like, remember Exodus with an M. It's now playing at the Pasadena Playhouse, which is a spectacular venue. If you've never been there, it runs through August 2nd. Brian Quijada, Nigel Robinson, thanks a lot. All right, time once again to check in with Chief Meteorologist Adam Kruger, who has been a very busy man of late.
Well, yes, and I mean, it's just busy talking about heat, really. That's a big story here locally. Of course, there's some other things like Tropical Storm Bertha in the Gulf, things of that nature. But let's start with the heat here. So we've got these heat alerts. They're in effect now. They go through Monday. And we've seen an expansion of the territory covered by these heat alerts. So now the coast is officially included with heat advisories. Our hottest temperatures will be coming tomorrow through Saturday. So today was warm, but it gets kicked up another notch tomorrow. And we also have the humidity, which is making it feel a little hotter than the actual temperatures. I used this example earlier, but today the high downtown was 86. Maybe it doesn't sound that bad considering we have a heat advisory, but it felt like 90 degrees. That's that heat index when you factor in the mugginess. The humidity is running a little higher than normal for us, and that'll be the case through the rest of this heat wave. So again, heat advisories all the way to the coast. We also saw this change. The Inland Empire now, instead of an advisory, now under a warning, which means it's just even a little more serious. and you'll see what those temperatures look like in a moment. Big dome of high pressure, though, is what's delivering the heat, and it's actually nudging still westward towards us, which will bring the temperatures up a little bit more. Again, I mentioned Bertha, so that's that tropical storm that's scraping across the southern part of Louisiana. It's going straight west, so it's heading into Texas tomorrow. It doesn't look to be major as far as tropical systems, though. It's like a low-end tropical storm. All right, our pattern now, we've got this high pressure that, again, is kind of nudging towards us, really bringing the heat the next couple of days. These heat alerts, like I said, last through Monday, but we're kind of over the top part, over the hump here by Saturday, and temperatures start to slightly back down Sunday and Monday. Also tomorrow, another change compared to today, where this morning we saw clouds during the morning hours, especially near the coast. They kind of lingered a little later in the day. Pretty much no cloud cover tomorrow morning, so the temperatures get a chance to really ramp up a little quicker and sooner in the day. About 84 degrees at 10 o'clock. We're going to go over 90 in the afternoon. Of course, into the valleys, i.e. the deserts, it's going to be even hotter. So here's the overview of what we expect for temperatures tomorrow. It will be hotter than today, that's for sure. Lots of triple digits there up to the deserts, but again, Santa Clarita, San Fernando Valley, San Gabriel Valley, maybe a little under 100 degrees. And then we expect plenty of triple digits across the Inland Empire. And then just a lot of 90s from the greater LA area down through inland Orange County. And right along the coast, temperatures will be 80 plus tomorrow afternoon as well. So you're going to see on the 7-day forecast that, yes, it's hot. And also we have the humidity making it feel a little bit hotter. The other thing that higher humidity does is it keeps the overnight temperatures a little warmer than they otherwise would be if the air was a little drier. We've been seeing lows around 70 lately for LA, and that'll continue to be the case. 69, 70 degrees for the lows for several days in a row. Again, not hot during the day, though. 93, 93, 92, 90. So there's that little slight drop by the weekend, and then 80 showing up next week. At the coast, our hottest days will be the next 3, 81, 81, and 80. And then 70s by Sunday, more 70s into next week. The valleys and Inland Empire, of course, will be hot. We're going to go 105 tomorrow. Doesn't mean every part of the valley or IE will see temperatures this hot, but kind of this will be like around the high end for a lot of spots. And then 104 on Friday, then 102 Saturday, then 101 Sunday. So it's still hot this weekend, but the temperatures are starting to come down a little bit. 90s in the forecast for next week. In the mountains, we've got plenty of 80s with just a tiny chance for maybe a pop-up shower on Friday in our far eastern mountains. In the deserts, you know it's going to be hot there. High desert, which would be Antelope Valley, Palmdale, Lancaster, those areas. 105, then 107, then 106 through this weekend. A little bit lower next week. And then finally, the low desert, which is the Coachella Valley and Palm Springs area, 114 to 115 for high temperatures. And look at the lows, 92, 90 degrees for the overnight low temperature. Kind of wild. That's where it's going to be extreme for sure. Phil?
All right, Adam, thank you. A wildfire near Ramona down in San Diego County called the Creelman Fire burned about 350 acres. Started this morning. It's about 20% contained. Firefighters, of course, working to protect structures, build those fire lines. Evacuation orders do remain in place for some neighborhoods there where shelters set up at some schools. And an update tonight on that brush fire up in the Bay Area we told you about last night. Crews have now stopped the forward progress of what they call the Little Fire in Sunol. It's burned just 1,000 acres and is 60% contained. One firefighter was hurt, though, when a fire engine rolled down an embankment. He was treated and released from a hospital. The push for year-round daylight savings time faces some new hurdles. The House backed the bill last week with bipartisan support, but now some senators oppose it, arguing darker mornings could put kids and workers at risk during early morning commutes. Congress tried permanent daylight savings time way back in the 70s during the energy crisis, but it was quickly reversed. Similar efforts were made in 2022 and last year, but so far did not succeed.